Welcome to Policy Wire. India's rising tide of hate speech and persecution against religious minorities is drawing international concern, with experts warning that the country's democratic fabric is under severe strain. Data from 2024 paints a grim picture. A staggering 1,165 incidents of hate speech were recorded, marking a 74.4% increase from the previous year's 668 cases. The sharp rise has fueled fears that religious intolerance is being systematically weaponized for political gain. According to reports, the overwhelming majority of these incidents, 98.5%, targeted Muslims. Analysts say this is not a random surge in hostility, but a coordinated effort closely linked to the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the Hindu nationalist movement. The most intense period of hate rhetoric coincided with India's 2024 general elections, where inflammatory remarks were reportedly used as a political tool. Statements made by senior BJP leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, have come under scrutiny. During the election campaign, Modi referred to Muslims as infiltrators and suggested they had more children. Remarks widely criticized for fueling anti-Muslim sentiment.
ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे.
BJP leaders were responsible for more than 450 instances of hate speech during the campaign period, with the Prime Minister himself linked to at least 63 such remarks. Observers point out that these speeches were not confined to isolated incidents but were concentrated in BJP-ruled states, which accounted for 80% of all hate speech cases. Critics argue that this reflects an environment where religious divisions are being deepened and minorities face increasing marginalization. Human rights organizations and global watchdogs have raised alarms over what they describe as a state-enabled atmosphere of hate. Experts warn that unchecked hate speech can lead to real-world violence, further destabilizing India's social and political landscape. Despite growing international concern, the Indian government has largely dismissed these criticisms, often labeling them as foreign interference. Meanwhile, on ground, religious minorities continue to report rising discrimination and hostility. With the world watching, the question remains: will India's leadership address the crisis? Or will the country's secular foundations continue to erode under the weight of growing intolerance?